Hey guys, we're joined by Tal, CEO for TRES Finance.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us for an interview at Taking Summit in 2024. We start by asking you, what is TRES Finance? Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yes, sure. So we started the company about 2 years ago. The idea was to help companies that engage with digital assets manage all their financial data for accounting, audit, and compliance. What we've seen is that not only do companies need help managing the internal treasury and talking to the regulator, but also now, especially when it comes to staking, there is a need to help report to customers on all their staking activities, right? So if I'm a staking provider, I also want to be able to talk to my institutional customers and give them all the services that they expect, including reports for all the staking rewards and delegated assets up until now. So that's what we've been providing, also using our UI, but also through the API.
Okay, cool. Nice overview of what you do.
Sure.
What do you feel are the struggles from these providers that you can help them with and that you've been helping with for the ones that have already been to you using your services?
Sure. So I think it's not exactly a struggle, but more of understanding what the focus should be for some of these providers, right? So usually the main incentive for staking providers is to get as many assets as possible under delegation. That's also how they make money, right? That's the main incentive.
Of course.
And in order to focus on getting as many assets as possible, you also want to know how to expand to as many networks as possible, right? Now, one of the main challenges that you get when you try to onboard new networks is how do I also get the data for the reporting side of things. So what we want to do at TRES is say to all these providers, we want you to focus on your main business, right? On the core of what you're supposed to do. And then we will be there to support you with the data infrastructure as a service. So you can go and expand all the business that you need to any network that you want. We will be there to provide you with the data to then go and report to your customers on your activities, and also for internal usage. If now you are claiming some of these rewards internally, you can go and account for them very easily, reconcile them using TRES.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I imagine that you worked somewhere not crypto related before at some point. What do you think are the main differences, since you work like on a very structured and financial side of things, main differences between Web 2 and Web 3 in this sense?
Yeah, so before starting TRES, I was a venture capitalist.
Okay.
Yeah, so I moved from the dark side to the bright side, as they say. I would say that actually when we started building TRES, I could see it as a VC, right? We were investing in companies also in the crypto space. And one of the main challenges was actually reporting to the board about their activities. Now, when it's only Web 2, you're working with a bank account, it's very centralized, right? Getting the data using only Swift or from your banking status. It's something that's already incorporated in the banking services, right? When it comes to digital assets and crypto, that's when things become really challenging because you're working on different networks, different providers, exchanges, wallets. There's like an influx, right, in the amount of networks and assets you might be engaging with. And that becomes very, very difficult. So that's when I understood that there's a need for a company like TRES that will aggregate everything into one platform and support the CFO, the COO, the VP Finance in reporting not only to the board, but also to the regulator, accounting, closing the books, etc.
About the regulations, so I can imagine regulations for crypto are still very iffy, right? And it must be very different from country to country.
Correct.
I would imagine. Is that a struggle for you guys to be on top of everything? Let's say we had someone here that works on Latin America.
Yes.
Someone that works in Israel. So it's completely opposite,
Agreed.
right?
Agreed. So there are accounting standards that are usually global around the world. Now at TRES, we won't say we will customize the platform to the exact jurisdiction that you're in. Rather, we say anyway, internally, you'll have a finance person that will be moving the data towards what is needed. And also, by the way, if you think about it, if you put two accountants in the room and give them the same set of data, you'll get three different answers, right? That's usually what happens. So we're doing the same thing with TRES. We'll do the heavy lifting of bringing all the data in, reconciling, closing the books, and also implementing the most basic accounting features that you need. And then for the extra 5%, 10% that's needed for the certain jurisdiction, we'll be there to help you with the support and, of course, guiding you. But that work is usually done internally anyway.
It's case by case.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It will be a very hard
even if you look at a company, like two companies working in the United States, right? They might take different approaches to how the regulator asks them to treat the data, right? So if I say, this is what you get in TRES, they'll say, actually, I want to change it. So we prefer not going that extra mile and saying, okay, we'll only help you up until this point, and from here we can advise you on what to do, but that's something you'll need to do internally.
Perfect. Yeah, got it. So, what do you see the future for TRES Finance in the next year? Where do you see you guys going?
Yeah, so I'll say that actually, maybe like a spoiler alert, next week we'll be launching new AI features. Okay, so what is really interesting is that everything we built in TRES is based on something called a Web3 financial data lake. Okay, so each company that we onboard on the back end, we backfill all the data that is already indexed and enriched. So what we saw is that if we implement AI, we can actually enable any CFO, instead of hiring an analyst, to use TRES as their analyst. So we call them a TRES analyst. So actually you can query free text to the database, any question you want about your data.
Oh, nice.
And get it very easily with graphs. So that's something we see is really going to supercharge I would say, the CFO suite and empower all our customers.
It's funny you mentioned like using AI to get all this data, because we're thinking about that as well, right? It's obvious, right? We have all of this data, like raw data, and now AI is so good.
It's powerful.
It's powerful. Why not get into that, right?
Exactly. So I would say you should be somewhat cautious when it comes to AI, right? You don't want to implement AI just for the sake of implementing it as like a buzzword. You need to find, like, as you say in crypto, a real world use case, right? So we've talked to our customers and tried to understand where they are struggling. And what we saw is that many times they need to download data from our system and then manipulate it to get certain questions that they want. They just want to ask one question. For example, what was my balance of ETH for the last 3 months and how has it changed? So they need to download the report. They can see it in our dashboard, but it takes them like a few extra clicks. Now, using the TRES Analyst and these AI capabilities, you can just ask that question to the AI and just spit out the answer for you with graphs, download, drag and drop, send it to an email, send it to management, done deal.
Done, yeah. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's really, really interesting. Now, to wrap it up, you've been in the Staking Summit for a little bit over maybe 2 hours, so not a long time. How are you enjoying it?
It's been amazing. I think that if you look at the staking community, they were very hungry for an event like this. And this is the 3rd year in a row, right? And I think this year is going to be even better. Like, you can only look at the booths and the amount of people walking around. I think this is going to be spectacular.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to?
So meeting as many staking providers as possible and getting them on board with TRES.
Perfect, yeah. We'll send them out your way.
Please do, please do.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
If you want to share where people can find you and TRES Finance?
Sure. So our website, TRES.finance, you can look on Google, LinkedIn, TRES Finance, Twitter, all over. DM me, tell Zach on.
Perfect.
We'll
link everything in the comments below. Thanks so much again.
Cheers.
And yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.